Thursday, May the 27th. Here we are, Ian Cameron, Skee Prophet, Dutch Boy Fresh, Conor Mac, ready to break down this Thursday NBA playoff card. Glad you are with us here. 3 games tonight on the docket. We've got the Miami Heat backs against the wall, essentially, because they can't go down 3-0 in this series to the Milwaukee Bucks. The Lakers and the Suns, pivotal game 3 with the series knotted up at 1 back at Staples. And we've got Portland and Denver as the scene shifts to the Moda Center in Portland for game 3 tonight. Before we get to those games, some thoughts on what we saw last night in NBA playoff action. We ended up seeing interesting results pretty much across the board. Philly, not so much. We figured they could take care of business against Washington, and that's exactly what they did in that game. Ran away with it in the second half. It became just essentially a blowout in the second half, and the Sixers cruised to an easy victory last night against Washington, and now they take a 2-0 lead in that series as that continues to roll along there in the Eastern Conference. Pretty dominant overall from the Sixers, and they brought the defense that we kind of expected from them last night, which was good to see. They talked about it, and they sure delivered. They held the Wizards down pretty much most of that game. How about the New York Knicks roaring back for Dutch, for Connor, for me? I think the 3 of us definitely were on the Knicks last night, and they came back after a rough first half. Give them credit. Dug in defensively, which has been the hallmark of the Knicks this season. For as rough as the series has been on Julius Randle, he came up key and clutch when he had to. Some big-time plays down the stretch for him. I think maybe a confidence booster as the series goes to Atlanta, but obviously the Knicks didn't want to lose 2 home games. They avoid that with the big 101-92 win, a great second half, a roaring back from a deficit at halftime to even the series at 1 game apiece. So that was good to see. Very good to see, and about as easy and over as you'll ever see for me on the show yesterday with Memphis and Utah in the late night hours. It was just pinball-type basketball from a shooting perspective. Back and forth it went. 47 points for Ja Morant, and the Grizzlies still don't win and cover. That pretty much tells you how bad they were defensively. And I think we all kind of thought on yesterday's show, if you joined us yesterday, that this is going to be a much taller order for Memphis defensively to match up with a Utah team that has Donovan Mitchell back on the floor. And that's exactly what we saw. How about 7 different Utah players, guys, that were in double digits in that win last night? So when they've got that balance, and they've got Clarkson, and they've got O'Neal, and they've got Mitchell, and they've got Conley and Gobert, and they've got Ingles. They've got everybody chipping in the double-digit range and scoring last night. That's when Utah's at their best. That's when they're tough to beat. They showed it last night. They take a 2-0. They actually tie the series, I should say, 1 game apiece, and that series will go to Memphis for game 3. Skee, we'll start off with you in terms of thoughts and observations from last night.
Ja Morant's pretty good. Still not that high on the list. But they cashed for it, so I'm happy with that. The Knicks and Hawks, great series. I think he'll continue back and forth type 7 game series. Philly finally played that defense I was looking for, so maybe I can have some confidence in them again going forward. And that's pretty much it.
Dutch, I think the night was great for you, Dutch, if I'm not mistaken, last night on the betting board. How did you? What were your thoughts on what we saw last night?
Yeah, man, you said it, bro. It was a beautiful thing. It was a lovely night. Pretty much all day. I hopped on with the razor sharp picks. Shout out to my guy on the Pony Show. We hit the Knicks plus 9.5, so that was lovely. And we're on that under first 108 first half in the Knicks. I enjoyed that with my man C-Mac right there. And then, of course, we had the Barrett over in the props, too. Rebounds, 5.5. That hit. He had 8. But I do got to touch on, we had Philly first half easy, easy money. But I do got to touch on my guy, Russ. And I'm going to say this only because people that fuck with me know that I fuck with Russ hard. And, I bet I make a lot of money off Russ. But goddamn, man. I tweet out today, like, this world's getting so watered down. I see dude got his season tickets revoked for the popcorn. Come on, bro. Like, That's some bullshit. I don't think they should have went that far. As a season ticket holder before, I would be pretty motherfucking heated if I got kicked out and revoked for throwing some popcorn. I mean, I always threw peanuts at anybody that was wearing the opposite jersey. Now I know that's not on the team, but come on, Russ, you got that motherfucking season tickets revoked? That's some bull ass shit. But other than that, I do like what the Knicks did. They came back, they got that money. Barrett did his thing. Randall was lost first half, did his thing second half. And then when it comes to Utah, well, that was a beautiful motherfucking thing. First half, second half, full game. But I did give out the freshest look first half. Easy. Like I said, it was going to be like a duplicate of what happened in game 2 with the Bucks. They were going to shoot a lot more better threes, and it was damn near like it's pretty much just a replay of that game. So it was nice. It did get a little close late, but they covered. So it was a beautiful thing. Let's keep it moving to today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congrats, Dutch. Awesome night in NBA action, which was good to see. And yeah, Russell Westbrook, talk about king of being melodramatic. Holy shit, going off as soon as the popcorn was dumped on him, he's like just raging and trying to get away from security and get after the guy. Relax, dude. It's popcorn. Hell, I'm 150 pounds soaking wet. I barely react if it's popcorn. Like it's not like there's bullets flying or there's.
Give me 30 million for some popcorn. You can throw whatever you want for 30 million, bro.
Yeah.
I'd say you throw some popcorn on me, I'm gonna touch you up. So if you can't go in the stands and touch him up, I don't want shit thrown on me. So I feel Westbrook on that.
Oh, come on.
Skee getting the wrong Artest.
If I give you, if I said,
like if you have beer,
do you want to catch a punch to the face? You don't, right? So don't throw no popcorn.
Popcorn I could handle. It would perturb me. It would bother. It would aggravate me, but I wouldn't just be wanting to kill somebody over it.
Hey, Dutch, if I come up to you right now and throw popcorn on you, what you gonna do? You gonna walk away?
If you gave me 30 million, I'd pass you to Jeezy, my man. Shit. Real talk. Shit, give me that butter, baby. Hey, I'm telling you real talk. Hey, I get what you're saying. If we're in the sports book, somebody did that, there's problems. But when you're paying me $30 million a year plus that's what Russ is making, and he got some popcorn thrown at him, come the fuck on, bro. It's part of the game, man. Trae Young got spit on and fucking did the Shrugger show.
No, that's disrespectful.
I'm not with that.
I would lose it over
I'm not with that either. I'm just saying, look at the difference between the two. Russ took that shit like a female to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? That shit. And I'm a Russ guy, but popcorn, hell fucking no.
Yeah. We got to measure this shit here. Popcorn versus a loogie in the face. Yeah, it's a big difference in terms of how I'm reacting.
That's a felony, bro.
Yeah. See, popcorn is disrespectful a little bit. Spitting in somebody's face, that is the ultimate sign of disrespect.
Yeah,
it's hard to have greater. Yeah, it's hard to have greater disrespect than someone spitting at you. Simple as that. That would get me going. That would get me pissed. That would. Popcorn, not so much. But I hear you. Don't throw anything on anybody. Skee's point. Have a little bit of class. Have a little bit of dignity. Right?
Play a little better, Russ.
You're not going to get that in Philly. Class and dignity from Philly fans, forget it. You're not going to get it. Go look at somewhere else.
Then they throw the snowballs at Santa. Shit, come on, man.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. All right, C-Mac, you're up. What do you think of last night?
Yeah, I think Sixers took care of business and really just ended it in the fourth quarter. Wizards only had 15 points. Like they were up 10, won by 25. Yeah, man, it was a sweat. I lost the first half, but full game under. Knicks came through, and Randall showed up, man. That guy was nowhere to be seen, couldn't make a basket. The defense clamped down. Derrick Rose played great. I thought he was big for them, and Knicks came through. And Jazz, I went on in that first half, and I had the game over, so it was a good night. They hit their threes. Mitchell was back. The place was buzzing, and they were good. And there's a ton of points in that game. So let's get to today. I'm ready. Get the popcorn out, baby. Let's get it going.
Yeah, get your popcorn ready. Yeah, that fan will be getting it ready from his home for the rest of his life, apparently, because he's not allowed back for a Sixer game again. So, Russell Westbrook got a guy banned.
Guaranteed he'd rather take the jab to the face than the season tickets getting revoked, no?
Yeah, see?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I mean, okay, maybe I do side with you on that, Skee, but come on, man. The way Russ fucking handled it was unbelievable.
It was.
Afterwards, I ain't too mad at him in the heat of the moment, but we'll keep it moving. But afterwards in the media, that was a little too much. But yeah, my fault. Skee started it.
Look, that's Russell's reacted like that before with a fan clashing with fans, and he's really like that pisses him off, or no matter what it is.
Yeah.
But I just thought for popcorn, like, come on, it's popcorn. popcorn. It just falls on your head. You barely feel a thing. But I get it. It's the lack of respect he doesn't like, and that was his problem. Hopefully, everybody respects us.
Do you guys know if you have to be vaccinated to be at the games?
I believe so.
I hope that's not. Yeah, that's some bull.
I don't know.
I think
that could be something to be mad about. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh shit! And it's on the fucking COVID card. Man,
no, I'm saying it's pandemic and somebody's throwing their stuff on you, and that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
That's the spit. That's why the spit was so big.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
transmission, right? Yeah, transmission. That's a good point. Yeah, maybe there's some worry there. You can never rule that out. That's actually never thought of that. But we've given thought to the games today, the four of us, and we're going to break them down right now. We'll start with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. I always do my best with the segues, hit or miss. Some don't always hit. But Miami, Milwaukee, game 3 tonight in Miami, South Beach. They better hope South Beach in a return home does something for the Heat. They need something to get them going. Right around a pick 'em here, a slight road favorite here, Milwaukee in game 3. Total in this one in that 226 range pretty much. When I look at it here, the Miami Heat, I think they're just up against it from a matchup standpoint. I think it's a better version of Milwaukee. I think it's a weaker version of Miami when you especially consider the supporting cast hasn't played as well as last year. And Jimmy Butler, the head of the snake, hasn't played as well this season compared to last year. That's an issue either. We'll have to see. In a game like this, the guys that have struggled are Butler and Bam. All right. They are the two guys that really haven't gotten things rolling yet for the Heat in this series. They're the guys you have to point to have step up good performances tonight in this game. Maybe more so Butler than Bam, because look, the Heat have problems right now with inside production at the moment. Milwaukee's doing good keeping people out of the paint at this point in the series. Maybe this is a night where Butler's got to emerge with his desperate spot here with the team down 2-0. We'll have to wait and see. The way I'm betting this game from a side perspective is Miami early, Milwaukee late. You can't discount that angle that most bettors in the NBA know about it. The team that's down 2-0, how good they've been in the first quarter and in the first half of game 3 when they're down 2-0 in the series. It's been a very good, profitable, long-term ATS angle in the NBA playoffs. So for that reason, I think I would look Miami first quarter, Miami first half in this ball game. And then if they have the strong start that I'm thinking they will, I would actually pivot to Milwaukee and bet them live at halftime at that point of the game, because I still think they could make it a game, come back and hell, maybe even win the game, because they have truly controlled the series, especially we saw in game 2. So the way I'm approaching this with this strategy is taking Miami early in the first quarter, first half, and then a live bet on Milwaukee maybe in the second half to make it interesting. That's the way I'm going to approach it. Skee, what do you think here with the Bucks and the Heat game 3?
I agree with your look on the first half. I mean, team coming home down 0-2. I mean, what are you going to leave in the tank? You got to come out early and often, So if they don't bring it in the first half, when they're going to bring it is how I'm looking at it. So that's the way that I would play Miami if I'm looking their way at all. It's tough. It's tough because Giannis, maybe the way he's on Jimmy Butler, it's making it a little bit tougher on him. Combine that with them packing the paint and just not having – I mean, Kelly Olynyk will make a world of difference, I think, being able to stretch the floor and give more space for Bam and Jimmy to work inside. But Milwaukee's defense seems to be working. On offense, I like Drew Holiday. I like him on defense. I like that they can go through Chris Middleton at the end. So I pretty much agree with your thought process, Ian. I like the Heat early, and I probably would lean a little bit towards Milwaukee on the full game. If I had to play one or the other, it would be Heat first half. And if I'm playing a prop, it would be either betting on Duncan Robinson to go over 3.5 3-pointers, because we know Milwaukee not great defending that perimeter. And if I'm going to play on the Miami side again, it'll be Butler over 24.5 points, because he said he's going to bring it on offense. He said he has to stop being so passive, and that's the way that I play it.
Yeah. I would think tonight's the night where he's got to say, fuck this. I got to take over. I got to dominate. I got to shoot as often as I can. I got to be a difference maker and lead the way, if we're going to make this a series. So Butler's going to be active tonight, I believe. I love that prop as well. Butler over his point total in this game. And yeah, if you're going to bet a 3-point shooting prop for Miami, you got to trust Robinson more than anybody. A hero. I'm almost totally lost faith in him and confidence in him completely at this point. Duncan Robinson definitely feels like the better option if you're going to look for someone to wake up from 3-point land for the Heat tonight. Dutch, what do you think about this game tonight?
Yeah, I was, it's funny. I laugh because I don't know. I looked the other way with Jimmy Butler, to be honest with you. I didn't lock it in or nothing, but I was looking at under 24.5 points, but I'll stay off of it because I don't want to go up against my man Skee. But he's averaging 13.5 in these 2 games. And Giannis is shadowing his ass. Giannis, to me, when he wants to be and he's locked in, he's the best defender in the league. He's out to prove something. And Jimmy, I don't know. He might get 25 tonight, but I don't know if I like that prop too much. I definitely lean towards the under on that. If Giannis is on him, if Giannis is on him and don't get in foul trouble, I think he's gonna have a tough time getting 25, my guy. But I do love that the way with the Duncan side. I was looking at the over 13.5 points. He has big games, so I was probably gonna go to the window with that. This to me is a Miami spot from a side perspective. Real quick before I forget, shout out to Joe Free, my man Eric Chang, always showing love to the show. Dennis Garcia too. My man got a lot of knowledge. Shout out to everybody in the chat. But yeah, pretty much from a side perspective, this to me screams Miami spot. But like to me, Drew Holiday, Giannis, they're locked in. Middleton. I'm gonna look at it more I'm gonna stay off the side because I wouldn't be surprised if either team won, to be completely honest with you. I'm going to look at Middleton. Now, I got this in at 120, over 19.5 points. It's at 20.5 a lot. I believe at like 105, maybe even money. I still do endorse it. Now, in 24 minutes, he was, at 17 points in game 2. Skee talked about this guy a little bit already before. He's 4 or 5 from field goals in this in game 2. Game 1, he had 27. He's went over this number 4 of the last 5 meetings. So I look for Middleton. I look for this to be a close game. I don't expect a blowout, so I feel comfortable with Middleton getting 20+ tonight. To me, from an offensive perspective, he looks he's their best option. Offensively, I do like I like Drew and stuff, but Middleton has a nice offensive game, so I definitely like that over 20. And I'm gonna stay off of a total as well, and I'll stay off that Butler prop as well and root for you guys.
All right, good stuff. Like a Middleton over point tonight in this one with the Heat and the Bucks. Conor Mac, what do you think here with the Bucks and the Heat?
Yeah, let's talk about some of the props. If you like Butler, his points, rebounds, assists, plus 105 over 39.5. If you think he's going to get it tonight, that's what I was kind of looking at. And my other one's Bam, double plus 125. I think he's got to have that. He's got to have over 10 and 10. For sure, especially at home. I think he has a big game. I will be on that. You talked about Middleton, maybe a good look, plus money here with 3s over 2.5 is plus 100. He's kind of the key guy, I think, other than Giannis. He had a really tough time in the playoffs. These last few years, he's shown well these first couple games. Down the stretch, he'd miss shots all the time. He came up big in game 1, hit that big one. So if you think he can hit a few 3s here, I like that. I'm rolling the Heat. I like you guys early. I like him kind of the full game too. Maybe it's just I don't trust the Bucks. I don't know. I got one more game here because I think if they go down 3-0, it's a wrap. But give me the Heat. Not even mess around with the 1.5. Money line plus 105, and I lean under in this game. I think it's going to be a lot closer. I think we see a little bit more of game 1 than we do of game 2. So give me the Heat and I lean under 225 here.
Yeah, this could be zigzag with the total. I would lean under the total as well in this game. And Dutch, I mentioned Dennis Garcia. I actually sprinkle on his a couple bucks on his horse stuff that he posts on Twitter there once in a while. Whenever I see it, I don't always see it. But
unreal.
That guy's well-rounded. Well-rounded.
Yes. Yeah, well, exactly. Well, he knows more about horses than me. That's all that needs to be said. So if I see horse picks from him, I'll put out a few bucks on them. That is for sure. Dennis Garcia. Yeah, a lot of people. Eric Cheng's in the chat every day. Yeah, the loyalists that watch the show every day. We appreciate that for sure. And great point, Preston, in the chat. This late arriving fair weather Miami Heat crowd. It sickens me. I mean, how many times do I have to go turn on the TV halfway into the first quarter, and the majority of the building has the seats empty, and they have those white bed sheets draped over the seats there in Miami. Every time I see them empty there, it looks like, and there's nobody in the building when the game's ready to start. That's Miami for you. It's just, it's commonplace right now. They don't show up right away at the beginning of the game. Will the Suns show up at the beginning of this game after losing game 2 to the Lakers? They will play the Lakers tonight at Staples. Game 3 series tied at a game apiece here. We've got the Lakers 6.5, 7-point home favorites here in this game. That total bouncing around the 210 range here with the Lakers and the Suns. Chris Paul's status up in the air. We'll have to see does he play, and if he does play, how effective, how healthy he is in this game. We'll have to wait and see. The Lakers got right in the last game against the Suns, a great defensive clinic for them, especially in the second half of that game. We'll have to wait and see if they can carry that over here to game 3 tonight. I'll say this about the Lakers, though. Here in the month of May, we have seen 2 games with them that they've cared about, that they've had one or both of LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the floor for them when they've been home favorites. The one game was New York. They barely won the game in overtime. They didn't cover. And the other game was the play-in tournament game against Golden State. They were laying 6 points in that game. They won the game, but they didn't cover, and they had to come all the way back from that halftime deficit. So they're 0-2 against the spread as home favorites this month in the games they wanted, the games they cared about, with one or both of LeBron and AD on the floor. So I'm not ready to lay 6.5, 7 here tonight with the LA Lakers. I'm on the Suns here, plus the points. I think you get a better game from them tonight here. I'm not saying they win, but close. I think this is an inflated number. They've not been trustworthy as home favorites. 0-2 this month, ATS for the Lakers. In those games against the Knicks and the Warriors, they had either LeBron and AD or both of them on the floor in those games. They didn't cover either one. I don't think they cover tonight either. I think we have a game. Give me the points with the Suns. Skee, what do you think here? Lakers, Suns, game 3.
Yeah, I'm not going to have too much this time. I mean, I've already kind of told you guys time and time again how I feel about this series, and I'm so heavily invested in the Lakers series that there's no point in me taking a -7 for this game. So maybe on the total, if Chris Paul wasn't going to be in, I was looking towards an over. When he's in, he's going to take some time off the clock dribbling around, and if anything, he'll probably be in there to help on defense. I don't think he's going to do so much offensively, so that kills my overlook. Lean under. If I'm going to play a prop, and probably if I'm going to play anything in this game, I might look at LeBron. And what I'm going to look at is he's not healthy. So you're looking at the way he's playing. He's not really being that aggressive going into the paint unless he has a straight, like a beeline to the basket. He wants to shoot more jumpers. He shot 9 threes. He shot 7 threes. That's what he's going to do. He's going to float on the perimeter a little bit. He's going to get other guys involved. And his 3-point prop is only 2.5. I think if he's shooting like 8 times, you got a good chance he'll hit 3. So I'll lean towards LeBron over 2.5 3-pointers.
All right, LeBron over 2.5 3-pointers. And Monty Williams says, it's obvious in terms of taking Chris Paul out in game 2. He says he's laboring. He doesn't want to get into details, but he's not running or dribbling the way he ran and dribbled the ball and shoot around in the morning. So there was legitimate health concerns. When the guy's not right, get someone that is at least going to have that greater amount of health and mobility on the floor, which clearly CP3 did not have the other night in game 2. So I have no problem with them taking him out. Cameron Payne, that's the guy I got to look at. I'm interested in his prop tonight. You can't always rely on Booker. You can't always rely on Ayton, especially if CP3 doesn't play or is hampered. And Cameron Payne stepped up a little bit offensively last game. That might be your value player prop for point total over for the Suns tonight. Cameron Payne might be the one I look at. That third option, they need that. Hopefully he can bring it again tonight in game 3. Dutch, what do you like here with game 3, Suns Lakers?
Yeah, Cameron Payne, bro. That's a good look. His little ass got a chip on his shoulder, huh? Yeah. Oh yeah, he got a little chip on his shoulder. I know he plays hard. That's for sure. Yeah, but from shout out to Turnsy. He said this line +7 is disrespectful. And yeah, Big Show said we got a hundo in the watching and only 25% likes. Come on now, take 1 minute and hit the motherfucking like button. All we're gonna do is put money in your pocket. That's all we're here to do is hit him straight over the motherfucking head. Come on now. But yeah, from a size perspective on this game, I gotta look at that 7 and is there still 7 out there? Because I know we did a show late. I am invested in 7, so I'm hoping that you guys can still get it. 6.5 is cool too, but the 7 is nice. I do think this should be somewhat of a close game. The Lakers are 0-4 ATS in their last 4 at home as a favorite. I know they've had in and out of the rotation, but they're just not good in this spot. And this is a big number. And, 1-5 ATS falling in ATS wins. So I just look in their last 6. So, the trend says Suns. To me, everything says the Suns. The thing I'm worried about a little bit is, with the everyone obviously is the shoulder. But, I'm seeing pictures of Chris Paul playing poker, smiley face on the plane. He didn't look too hurt to me. He did look like he in the end of that game, with that thing on the shoulder, ice in that shoulder. But I think he might be, a little better off than, everyone's expecting. So I'm hoping that's what it is. But so I got to look at that 7. And then I'm also going to look from a prop aspect. I got each one on each side. I'm going to look from the Sun side. I'm going to look at DeAndre Ayton. Realistically, I don't think Drummond, Gasol, or AD's ass want anything to do with Andre Drummond. Not Drummond, my bad, Ayton when he comes inside. So Ayton's averaging 21.5 in the series on 21 of 24 from the field in the 2 games. Now, he's only had 2 free throws, so I would look for him to tack a little bit at the free throw line. But I'm going to go ahead and lock in over 14.5 points. I like that a lot. I think he'll get 20 again. He's getting 15 plus, and that's at right around like minus 115, minus 120. Shop around a little bit. Now, from the Lakers aspect, I'm going back to my guy Schroeder. I was on him game 1. I gave you guys stats about him. He showed out last game 2. If you watch it, they went through him a lot. So he's getting his attempts. LeBron was setting more screens from him than doing anything. And another thing about LeBron is he had 1 fucking free throw attempt in game 2. 1 free throw attempt. That can't happen.
How does that happen?
It's almost that. I don't think I've ever seen that before with the amount of minutes he played and one free throw. That's insane. So I would look for him to come out like Skee said. I guess he's got to be banged up for him not to be that aggressive. He obviously doesn't want the contact, I guess, right now. Not talking shit. I just think he might be, beat up a little bit. But yeah, so I look for Schroeder over 14.5 points. He's averaging 19 in the series. In the 2 games that he's played in the season, he had 22 and 17. So, he's easily getting over this number. I look for Schroeder attack again over 14.5 points.
All right.
I agree with the chat in there. I just wanted to say that KCP look is awesome because LeBron was grilling them. He's got to get them shots up tonight.
Yeah, I seen Wham Bam's on that over. I think it's like I don't know the exact number. I think it might be 8.5 or 9.5. But yeah, I believe that's his prop bet. So yeah, I look for him to hit a couple of them corners. Man, he's wide the fuck open. And the thing is, he didn't even shoot it. Like real quick, he didn't even shoot. He was like 0 for 4, I think, and then just stopped shooting. That's why LeBron was yelling at him. He was yelling, I passed it to you to shoot the fucking ball.
Yeah, be confident. Especially when you're going to get a wide open look. Yeah, the Lakers are going to leave him open. You got to worry about LeBron. You got to worry about AD, other guys. Yeah, they're going to leave KCP open, take the shot.
Yeah, it was gross. I had that assist prop over 8.5. He did get 9, but the whole third quarter, LeBron kept throwing it to him, and every time he had a wide open shot, I thought he was going to shoot it. He passed the ball. So I was just like, man, I'm trying to get this 9, but he got there though. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, usually when LeBron is telling a teammate, "Hey, you got to do a little bit more," they'll respond because he's the de facto head coach. Frank Vogel's just the head coach that stands there. He's like the prop head coach. He's there as a prop. LeBron James, I think, is the actual head coach of this Lakers team. It sure feels and looks that way. Conor Mac, what do you think of your Lakers and Suns?
Well said.
Yeah, something's wrong with Chris Paul for sure. He just doesn't look right. Yeah. And it's kind of going to hurt the Suns, and obviously because I don't think they're going to win the series. But I think 7's too many. And yeah, Zoe, there's only 1 7 I see. They're all 6.5, but I'm still cool with 6.5. I think the game's close. I lean under. It's a Lakers game, but we always talk about they play a little looser at home. But this is the playoffs. That's kind of a little thrown out the window. We talk about, all season the Lakers kind of played over at home. But so I'm going to probably stay off the total. I think Booker, because of CP3, I think he gets his anyways. I think he gets over 28.5. I like the Caldwell Pope over 8.5. And Schroeder's been good. Yeah, you mentioned it, Dutch, over 14.5. He probably gets that. I mean, he had 24. He's played really well these first 2 games.
I like that one a lot, actually.
And he was really good in game 2. I don't know if he's that big today. His double doubles plus 160, and Anthony Davis has got to be huge as he was. He played well in game 2. Is plus 110 if you're looking for some plus money value on these props.
Yeah, definitely good stuff. And by the way, our final game now, Portland and Denver. The intensity's ratcheting up. That was a chippy, spirited, physical game 2. We had some technical fouls issued. We had a lot flagrant fouls. You had the benches jawing at one another. So we got some intensity here, Blazers and Nuggets. And they played each other in the playoffs a few years ago. So it's not surprised to see the dislike going up here. Portland 4-point home favorites here, game 3. The total, it opened 229. It's down to 227 now pretty much across the board. So we've got some under money coming in. And I know there's going to be that faction of bettors that are going to like the under for this very reason. And it's actually a reason why I bet some overs or unders in a game 3. When the first 2 games go over in a series and then they shift venues to game 3 to the other building, a lot of bettors like to look under for things to change, or vice versa. First 2 games go under, you change venues, and you like to go over in game 3. I know there's a bunch of people that think that way. I don't know if I agree, and I don't know if I can bet an under right now. Like, I get it. They're going to try to maybe Denver did do a better job defending Lillard, especially in the second half the other night. And if you do that, it'll slow the pace down a bit. I get that. But I still think there's too many offensive advantages on either side. Denver can do what they want around the rim. There's no resistance to Jokic, none at all on the Portland side. And on the other side, it's a mismatch for that Portland backcourt against Campazzo and that Denver backcourt. So they'll be able to do what they want. And I know Lillard got neutralized in game 2 later in that game, but now back home, I think it'll be a different Dame Lillard and McCollum for that matter. They'll step up. They'll be a whole lot better in this game. Let's not forget Norm Powell's contributions, no question. Got him, of course, in that trade with the Raptors. I just think there's no team has shown me the ability for 48 minutes to completely shut down the other team. So I understand the thought process of, well, 2 overs in Denver, and now we're back to Portland, maybe defensive adjustments, maybe now with just the change in venue, the series getting a little bit more, games getting more important, that the defense will take over. That's what I think people are seeing, but I'm not seeing what they're seeing. So I don't want the under personally. I've been on the over the first 2 games in this series. I'm just going to wait it out. Might even get a 226.5 or something before the opening tip, because it looks like it actually could fall further, this total. And I'm going to go over again, 2-0 to the over. And I'm going to dare these 2 teams to show me that for 48 minutes, they can do enough at the defensive end with, I think, defensive problem matchups that both of these teams have against the opponent in this series. And it's looked that way so far. And I don't know if it's going to change enough where all of a sudden this series, we get an under just yet. So I am on the over here. And as far as Portland goes, I lean to them minus the 3.5, -4. I don't want Denver. I think it's a good bounce back situation here for the Blazers. I'm a little leery of laying 4 with this team still with their defense, but I certainly would not want Denver here. I think it's a good spot back home. That Moda Center crowd will charge them up. Blazers, I think, still win this series, and I think they'll win this game tonight. So I like Portland -4 a little bit, and I'm going to stick to the over, even though the money's come in on the under. Skee, what do you think here with game 3 with the Nuggets and the Blazers?
Yeah, I know I said before, I think it's going to be an over series, but, I'm a little hesitant here in this one. I look at it, for one, how Denver put Aaron Gordon on Lillard. I think that'll force him to use up some of the clock a little bit more, definitely, than when he has Campazzo in front of him. And I look at the Portland side. I heard Lillard say that he saw some things that could definitely improve defensively, things that they've been doing as of late that they didn't do in game 2. So I expect them to come out and do it defensively in game 3. Denver, I don't think they want to get into really an up and down game like that. I think that favors more Portland. So especially if you're playing through Jokic, I think his tempo is a little bit slower. So I lean towards an under in this one. And for the side, I think it's a bounce back for Portland too, but I don't really like laying points with them. They're 10-15 against the spread as a home favorite and 17-8 straight up in that same row. So they win. It's just usually close, tight games. So I do trust them to win here. How I played this one, I'll tell you my thought process. I played the juice which was minus 165 for the Blazers. And my reason is I think that they win the game, but if they don't, I still think they win the series, and I would take them on a series at a plus price after the game and also take them again next game to win. So that's how I'm approaching this one, and those are the ways I look.
Yeah, this is one of those games where it actually makes sense. Like usually you say, why would you lay minus 165 on the money line? I could see them easily winning by like 1, 2, or 3 points in this game. And somehow, some way, it comes right down to a final shot or two in that final minute. I think that little extra sense of security with money line Portland instead of the -4, it makes sense in this regard. It's actually a pretty smart thought, because I think there's a part of me that also thinks that this could be like a 1 to 3 point win for Portland. That wouldn't shock me one bit. Dutch, what do you think here? Portland hosting Denver.
Let me hit my unmuter, right? Let me unmute myself. My fault. That was some smooth ass shit though, Skee. I'd have to say, everything. I echo everything this man said. That's some knowledge right there. I hope y'all soak that shit in. But I'm right with him. But I will say this: I do think we could be comfortable with laying the 4 here. But if you know what I mean, if you ain't mad at the juice, I definitely ain't mad at that either. But lay the 4 comfortably here. I do believe it is a Blazers spot. For just a couple of numbers, I'll throw at you real quick from the Nuggets side. They're 0-4 ATS in their last 4 on the road versus a team with a winning record. And they're also 1-5 ATS in their last 6 meetings versus the Trail Blazers. So between these two, whoever's on the court, it seems like Rip City has their number. Now, also from a Blazers aspect, they're 4-0 ATS in their last 4 after an ATS loss. So they actually do well in this spot. And then they're 7-1 ATS in their last 8 versus a team with a winning percentage better than 60%, which Denver obviously has. So they show up against good teams in a spot like this as well. 2 stats I really like there. And I look at it to be from more of a team aspect. Dame got 40, got most of it in the first half, but Colin had 21 on 9 of 12 attempts. I mean, come on, bro. He needs more than 12 shots. I mean, that's pretty that's pretty fucking good from the field, and you're only getting 12 attempts in that many minutes. I think, with Aaron Gordon taking down Dame, maybe Dame will look to be more of a facilitator, get Norman Powell more involved, get my guy CJ involved. And the bench, from a bench aspect, Portland didn't have shit from a bench aspect. I think Melo led him with 5 all around. Nurkic didn't have a good game. So I look for Nurkic actually to show out a little bit here too. From a pros aspect, I like him over 14.5 points. You should be able to get that either at even money or a little slightly juiced. Now, he did in game 1, he had 16 and 12, shooting 7 to 10 from the field. I'd like him against Joker or anybody else you want to put out there from an offensive perspective, not from the defense. Realistically, Joker's going to obviously get his, but I like Nurkic on the offensive end. Now in game 2, he did only have 7 points, but he did have 13 boards on 2 of 8 from the floor. Give him a little bit more attempts, like I mentioned. And then in 20 minutes in the third game they played right before the end of the season, in 20 minutes, he was 20 for 13. He had 20 and 13 on 8 of 10 from the field. So I look for Nurkic to have a game more like that, easily get us 15 plus. And, really from an aspect, like I mentioned, from the assist aspect, the Nuggets had 29 assists to the Blazers 15 in game 2. That can't happen. I think Dame's going to look at that. The team as an aspect is going to look at that. They're going to move the ball, get better play all around, and let's lock in the fucking Blazers -4.
There you go, Blazers -4. Yes, Rip City.
Also,
absolutely
one last thing, my fault. The turnovers.
Yeah.
Take care of the fucking ball, please. 21 turnovers to 12 in game 2. I think they had single digits in game 1. So take care of the ball and move the fucking ball, and we're covering that for all damn day.
All right, like in Portland, -4. Also likes a good impact in the game from Yusuf Nurkic of the Blazers as well. And look, even Cantor stepped up defensively a little bit. I thought this guy was a sieve in the low post for the longest time, and he's actually picked it up a little. He's never going to be a great interior defender, but at least he gives you a little more than he used to. He was really bad in that role. Portland -4 for Dutch in this one. Conor Mac, what do you think here with Denver, Portland?
Yeah, I'll touch on it, Dutch. You just mentioned it, how Blazers didn't have those assists. They only had like 15 and a ton of turnovers. I looked at Dame's over 8.5 assists at +100. I thought that was pretty good. I think he gets more involved. He knows they didn't do well in game 2, so that's the only really prop I like in this game. Is Dame over 8.5 assists. I like Portland early, maybe first half -2. I've had that problem with them. We all talk about it. They're a short number like this, 4 or 5. They win by 3. Man, it's gotten me a ton over the last few years. And he always hits like a jumper and wins it, but yeah, they win by 3. So this is tough. Different venue. You mentioned it, Ian. Yeah, you kind of think under, but I think it's going to be close. I don't know if I could play the total here tonight. I could still see it going over. Barton's still out for the Nuggets. He's not in tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, it could just get over. So I'm probably going to stay off the total, but look to Portland early, -2 first half here.
All right, like in Portland, -2 first half. And great point bringing up Barton. I was going to actually bring him up as well because he's out tonight. And if that's what's going to maybe give Denver a greater chance, if we see Barton return at some point in this series, it's another body they can throw at Lillard for sure.
Yeah.
And there's no question about that. You know, he'd help a little bit at the defensive end against that Portland backcourt. So, but again, Will Barton is not playing tonight. So tonight will not be that opportunity to maybe see how he can match up defensively against this Blazers team. Great analysis from my guys here, Skee, Dutch, and Conor Mac. Outstanding job as always. Fun show. It's been fun to put this version of the show together since the playoffs began. Again, we're here 7 days a week. I mean, we literally got you covered every damn day during the NBA playoffs. Every single game right until the NBA championship is crowned. So we are looking forward to it. We'll get to our best bets, or as Dutch likes to call it, his freshest look in just a second at the end of the show. Before we do that, though, we'll pause as we always do at this time for Manscaped and for Southtown 101. Let's roll. There we go. All right, we got Manscaped. Take care of yourself, all you guys out there with those male grooming products, courtesy of Manscaped. Promo code Pub Sports, Southtown 101. Like I said, they check all the boxes of a place Ian Cameron wouldn't mind having a night there. Food, drinks, great food, great drinks, DJ, live music, karaoke, which is right up my alley. Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, check them out. And also mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. Again, we've got the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA playoffs, MLB on a daily basis. There's UFC pretty much every weekend. There's U.S. Open golf coming up next month, the next major. Lots to get involved with. MyBookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. Bitcoin accepted as one of your deposit options when you use MyBookie.ag. So check them out, promo code Pub Sports. All right, best bets time. Let's rock and roll for a Thursday Ski Profit. What do you like? Best bet tonight?
I'm going to tell you like this. I usually wouldn't want to give it, but I told you the reasons why I'm doing it. It's going to be Portland on the money line. And if they lose or the Lakers lose, the best bet is to take them on the series price.
Right, there we go. Portland money line for Ski Profit tonight, Game 3 against the Denver Nuggets. Dutch, what do you like for best bet?
Yeah, man, I'm going to keep it short because I said a lot about it. I'm right with him, but I'm going to lay the 4 comfortably. I think this is a trifecta spot for the Blazers, but I like a -4. I'll give out the rest of my plays out on Twitter.
All right, there we go. For Dutch Boy with his best bet. Conor Mac, best bet. What do you like?
I got 7, but I'm cool with 6.5. Give me the Suns. I think the Lakers probably win, but I think it's a little too many points. maybe a backdoor cover. I think the game's close again. So give me the Suns plus 6.5.
All right, best bet for Conor Mac, and same one as him. I'm going right to that same one. Phoenix Suns plus 6.5. I'm staying off the total, so maybe this is, which have been good, but this is my favorite one of the night. I think it's a close game. The Lakers are 0-2 ATS and meaningful home favorite roles this month. Golden State, New York, they didn't cover any of those games. I think we have a close competitive game, and I like it regardless of Chris Paul's status. Just make that known right now. I'm not jumping off Phoenix if he plays or if he doesn't play. I'm on it regardless. Phoenix Suns plus 6.5 against the LA Lakers for my best bet for this Thursday card. Reminder, we're here 7 days a week. Another great show. We're back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, with another edition of the NBA Pub Hub. Skee Prophet, Conor Mac, Dutch Boy Fresh. I'm Ian Cameron. Dutch, take us home.
My man, you already know where it's at Pub Sports Radio. Like my man Ian said, 7 days a week. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest.
We be pubbing. Let's get it.